people, and just if you don't mind sharing a little bit of your journey there in terms of what's worked and what can be improved.
Yeah, as I mentioned, initially we try to recruit ourselves, and we also work with a lot of temp agencies, contract firms, and when we started that whole process, we weren't getting any candidates. And I believe because our firm size in the U.S., I have 160 employees, 100 of them are in manufacturing, and we also have, as you stated, the Poland facility. Once things get tough, those companies, they start to service their top customers, right? And where we were getting people hired, maybe 1 or 2 people a month, it literally went down to 0. I couldn't get anybody in here. So we had one HR generalist manager, and I have an HR director here as well. And we've attempted to hire internally, and just wasn't happening. There wasn't enough time in the day to make that happen. And so I reached out to all my contacts, all my friends, other CEOs, CFOs, and try to pick their brains in terms of what they're doing. But I felt like it still wasn't enough. And ultimately, I actually went to Oak Creek to even reach out to them to say, help me out because I'm struggling here. My demand's up. I got to grow. And I can't find anybody. So they actually recommended you. And, I think our relationship there, we immediately started that process. We hired Brian, and it was amazing for what he was able to do. We brought in 30 candidates in a matter of 4 months. It took about 3-4 weeks to get that process going. But once it got going, bringing in that many employees was extremely helpful for us because we didn't have to have our HR department to deal with the recruiting efforts, for example, them calling the candidates. But what we found during that process also is that, during that time, he called over 1,000+ candidates, right, to screen them. And by the time you get to that process and what's been going on in the market, is you could get people and they may not show up to the interviews. And that fallout was certainly substantial as well. So one of you mentioned about just the efficiency and simplicity of your process, whether it's recruitment or how quickly the managers react. And those are all the lessons we ended up learning through that process. But we've also then decided to do recruitment through Paula, for our new CFO, which I'm happy to announce that we have made the offer. He's accepted. He's actually starting with us this Monday. But those are all the things I think that today, from a recruitment effort, it's critical to understand what you're good at, what you could do in-house, and what you should really be doing on the outside as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for those comments.